I'm Jill Johnson Young. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm also a certified grief recovery specialist. You've come across Your Path Through Grief. This is a program that I wrote because I have seen so many people who haven't had a place to take their grief in the middle of the night, or who just aren't comfortable in a group setting and they don't want to go to a traditional grief group, or they're not part of a group that might be welcome in a traditional grief group. Maybe they've had a loss that doesn't fit everyone else's there. Maybe they've lost a beloved partner and everyone else there doesn't quite get what that means. Maybe they've lost a pet and nobody else in a group understands that's just as important as the loss of a child in their grief process. Whatever the case may be, this is for you or for your loved one who's had a loss. This is a program that's written so that in the middle of the night or the middle of the day, there's always going to be something coming to you or available to you if you need it for support. This program involves a daily email. I wrote them all myself. They're not a package I bought someplace else. They're written for you. They're timed. Day 1, day 2, day 366. Because I'm going to be there for you all the way through that first year and after the first anniversary. I've had several significant losses myself. I know how hard those days are. I will never tell you I understand what you are feeling. But I will tell you I have walked that path, and Your Path Through Grief was written in part based on both clinical experience, my training, and my own experiences. So you'll get that daily email, and it will be timed for what's going on, probably in your experience about that time. There will also be special ones that come out for holidays throughout the year. The emails also include a daily thought and usually some kind of task that you might want to think about doing if you have the energy to do it. I won't be calling to check to make sure you did it. You'll also have weekly blogs posted on the site. Those blogs are designed to help provide additional support. They'll also address anything that might have come up in the news that week, because when there are losses elsewhere, they trigger our grief again. They may intensify it. They may cause people to look back at us and say, my goodness, how are you doing? And you're not quite expecting it because no one's asked you in the last 2 months. I believe in education. I find that the more we know about what to expect, the better we're going to cope with it. And there is a lot in grief we don't expect. We don't expect the level of exhaustion. We don't expect that I can't remember anything syndrome. We don't expect to start crying in the middle of the frozen foods aisle. We don't expect that our pets might be grieving as well. I have to take my poodle to work now because she's not coping with the losses that we've had. Everyone responds differently. The education piece is going to give you the this might be coming, or this might be an idea for how to handle this situation all the way through the year. It also involves a lot of self-care, because when we're grieving, we don't take care of ourselves. And lots of times after a death, we've gone from a caregiver who's busy all the time to not being busy at all, or having to go back to real life, and a sudden shift in roles and responsibilities. And in that, we lose us. We lose the I really do need to sleep at night, and the I need some nutrition, and I need some exercise piece. And so it's there for you, not to beat you over the head with it, not at all, but it's there for you. It even includes videos for relaxation and for meditation, so that if you're having trouble sleeping or your mind is racing, you can flip one of those on and watch the ocean and listen to music and just relax and forget what you've just heard or been told, or what that to-do list says right now. Maybe you just need a timeout. We will provide that for you. We have a memorial page for you, because when we lose someone important, we want other people to know that person. We want to see their picture. We want to hear their name. And because you're going to be connected as well on our private and secret Facebook group to other people in this program, you're going to want to know who they're talking about too. So everybody has the opportunity to post a picture and a couple of paragraphs about the person that they lost, what their relationship was. This is just for you, and only people who are on this site can see it. So if you didn't so much like the obituary, this is your redo. And if you did, you can put it in here. However you want to handle it, this is your choice. This is your grief process. You get to decide what you want to write. That private Facebook group, I think that's a great place to be. It's secret, so nobody else can be there. That means that if someone is just saying the wrong things and you don't dare say it to them, which is so often the case, and you can't tell anyone else because it's a loved one as well, you can say it on our Facebook page, and I will bet somebody else is going to say, oh, me too, I had that happen. And it's your place to see where other people are having those experiences, how they handled it. Sometimes just a place, just a vent. I'll be on there, I will moderate, but it's not a therapeutic site, it's a site just to give other grievers a place to talk, where people they know, people from their community, from their places of worship, from wherever, aren't going to be there listening. So you can feel free to say what you need to say. We are also going to have access to professional grief coaches. You have one 30-minute session that comes with this package. You can access more if you'd like. We can't do therapy legally over Skype outside of the state of California, which is where we're based. But we can do grief coaching, which is life coaching, but with a specific purpose. And if you need that, we can set it up on Skype or Google Chat or any number of other ways so that you can have 30 minutes of time just for you without walking into an office somewhere and trying to find someone who knows what to do with grief and loss. I know I've experienced some folks that I've seen professionally who just didn't know what to say. In fact, one said just that. I don't know what you want me to do. And we do know it. We know our material. We're experts in this field. We're available to you if you'd like to contact us. We also have resources for you. There's a resource page that I've built and I will continue to build. And if you email me and say, I need this, what about adding that? You can bet I will go in and add it right in. It has resources about specific grief groups, the ones for loss of a child, loss of through a miscarriage, loss of a spouse, loss in retiree years, loss for veterans, all those sorts of things. They're all on there. You can click the link and you'll be on their site. It also includes links to lots of different groups that are related to illnesses that your loved one might have died from, because lots of us after a death, we really want to be part of fighting that battle for them that they didn't get to finish. So you can reach the American Cancer Society or the Lung Association. You can reach the Lewy Body Association, the Alzheimer's Association. They're all on there. I've got the links, and I'll add more if we need to. We also have a grief notebook, and the grief notebook is sort of what you would get if you went to a traditional grief group someplace. But again, it's written just for this program, and it's written toward grief recovery. Not just holding on to grief, but recovering and using the time during the grief period so that when you come through it, you have found a way to remake your life, marking the loss, including your lost loved one, but moving on into the new life that you really don't have a choice, you have to be part of. We want it to be a healthy one and one that you make good choices about. It also has some tips for your restart. Things like, if you've lost someone significant, you might have to rethink how you did wills or powers of attorney, how you've got the bank account set up, those sorts of things. Things we really don't want to think about, but are absolutely necessary at this point. We have programs for you built into this program that are there around the clock. Lots of times grievers don't sleep well. If you're up at 2 a.m., you're going to find our site available to you. You're going to find things available to you that will be helpful to you right at that moment. And if you need something added, again, I'm responsive. I'll add them in. I hope you find your path through grief meets your needs. And if you've got someone else in your life who's grieving, that you might send the link to them. This is a program written just for you, and I hope it helps. Thank you.